Okay, cool. So today I'm going to be talking about success. So I'll be honest, before I did come to sales ambassadors, I always thought that success was something that was actually given. I never thought it could be something that you could actually earn or create for yourself. I always thought, okay, cool, that person grew up in a good family. That person has a very nice, lavish background. Their parents have loads of businesses. So obviously, naturally, they're going to be successful as well. Or, okay, cool, that person is living in a nice area. You don't live in Hackney, you don't live in Brixton. So, of course, you're going to be successful. Or, of course, lastly, literally just luck. I just thought, okay, cool, no, this person just got luck in before they actually are working in, which is why they actually have achieved what they have achieved, and of course, this is why they're so successful. But now my ideology towards success has completely changed. My ideology has completely changed success because I now know, regardless of whether your background is like poor, rich, or whether your family works jobs, whether your family are unemployed, whether they obviously have businesses, like you can always be successful. Because when I look at people like Sham, Matthew, and Edgar, they're all very, very successful and all had very, very different backgrounds in terms of obviously growing up. None of them grew up with a very, very lavish lifestyle, if that makes sense. So of course, I'm going to go through a few points as to why obviously people are successful, why people obviously are less successful as well. So the first thing is literally just student mentality. So of course, we have people who are successful, they're always the best students. They always have the ability to ask the best questions, and they always apply the information that actually are given as well. But people who are obviously a little bit less successful, they always have, I'll be honest, their student mentality isn't the greatest. Obviously, they might just ask questions just because they were forced to, or because like obviously they know they have to, or they never really apply the information they are given. And it's like, obviously, if you go back to school, like GCSE times, for example, the people who are messed around in class, the people that never revised at home, the people who never, obviously, like, did any work in class, the people who never, obviously, like, listened, the people who always messed around, didn't really achieve the results they wanted to achieve. But the people who actually, obviously, you know, like, obviously did their homework, actually went home and actually revised, actually went from school to home, and obviously surrounded themselves with education, were a lot more likely to actually do well. And of course, those people did a lot better than those people who actually messed around in class. And of course, secondly, is literally just work ethic. So of course, with work ethic is very, very imperative, because if you're not the hardest working person in the room, you can never really work on yourself, you can never really improve your own skill sets, and of course, naturally, you're not really going to progress yourself from obviously being unsuccessful to successful. So of course, I'm not sure if anyone's watched the Kevin Hart documentary on Netflix, but if you haven't, obviously, I would highly recommend, because it is really, really good. It shows you a whole back view of the man's life, because like it shows the man barely even sleeps, he's hardly ever at home, and of course that's all because he wants to create success for himself and his family as well. And of course, he's obviously always working on himself, always like working on things to make sure he's actually stays at the top of the game, and of course to make sure he actually is creating a lot more success for himself. But sometimes obviously like you always meet people that don't really have the work ethic that obviously like other people do, other people that are successful do. So obviously, for example, when we go to the film, when we knock on doors, as you already know, there are some people, their house stinks, it smells like they haven't washed it and like cleaned the house in weeks, smells like they haven't washed in weeks as well. And of course, that's literally just because they have a bad work ethic, they're very, very lazy. And of course, a majority of those people are unemployed as well. And again, it's because they have a bad work ethic, and of course, they're always creating a high amount of excuses for themselves as well, as to why they can't actually do things. Oh, okay, I'm a single mom, so I can't work, so I'm going to sit here in my house not doing anything all day. That makes sense. They always create a high amount of excuses for themselves as well. And of course, lastly is literally just having a great attitude. So of course, with great attitude is the most imperative thing when it does come to success, only because obviously with people who are successful, they face problems every single day in their lives. They face problems in their personal lives, business life, but the only reason why they actually do overcome it, the only reason why they actually are successful is because they are able to make sure that they obviously are finding a solution to those problems as well. Because obviously it's all great having problems, but obviously you need to be able to find a solution. And only people with a good attitude are able to do that. Because the people who have a bad attitude, they're always fixated on problems, they're always fixated on drama. They're never able to kind of find a solution to the problem. And they're never able to kind of like obviously like just have a good attitude towards what they're doing as well. It's like when you go to the field with a negative attitude, when you go to the field with a positive attitude. When you go to the field with a negative attitude, you're a lot likely to obviously do like less results. So you're a lot likely to obviously come back on a 0 or 1. But if you go to the field with a positive attitude, you're a lot more likely to obviously achieve the results you want to achieve. You're a lot more likely to actually achieve your personal best as well. And of course, the last point I'm actually going to make is circle of influence. So with circle of influence, it is like your most powerful thing. So like Sham always says, if you hang around with a crackhead, you're going to become a crackhead. It's as simple as that. So of course, the people who are obviously very successful, obviously a lot of the time it's because they surround themselves with mentors, coaches. They surround themselves with people like who actually have their own businesses, with people who actually like obviously are successful already. And with people who are unsuccessful, they kind of surround themselves with people that are like not doing much. that are lazy, have a bad work ethic, have a bad attitude. And of course, if you hang around people who are successful or who are at least working towards their success, you're a lot more likely to make sure that you are successful as well, rather than hang around the crowd that actually has a complete terrible attitude towards what they're doing as well. Cool. So obviously I'm just going to go over obviously what I just said. So of course the first thing is that just student mentality. So just making sure you actually are asking questions, applying the knowledge you actually are giving as well. And of course secondly is literally just work ethic. So of course if you're always working on yourself, always aim to be the hardest working person in the room, you're always able to achieve results that actually are higher as well. And of course obviously last of those is literally just attitude. If you have a good attitude towards what you're doing, if you have a good focus on direction, you're going to be able to achieve the results you actually are obviously looking for as well. And of course, literally, circle influence. If your circle of influence is impeccable, you're going to achieve amazing things. It's as simple as that. Cool? So I hope you enjoy my video.